I want to move on, and this involves something that we've talked about on the show before, but the Jets, we know, were stopped just short of making the playoffs. For Jets fans out there, I'm sorry. It was devastating. So their season ended, but it seems a vasectomy couldn't stop one of their players from scoring. Cornerback Antonio Cromartie, who is an incredible player, well, despite a vasectomy, he and his wife are pregnant. And Cromartie apparently already has 10 children, 2 with his wife. So they're pregnant with twins. That's it. Score! Is that a 2-point conversion?
He can't help but think that divine intervention is involved with that one. I mean, you go, you get a vasectomy, and here it is. You are having 2 more.
That is viral, right?
Right.
I mean, I have to say, first of all, I loved that this story was in the news, although I could imagine being a fly on the wall in their home when they're both going, what? But I have to give a huge shout out to him for taking this step, even though, of course, vasectomy failure does happen, and there are certain things that men and women need to know about it, but there is so much myth surrounding this. And my husband had a vasectomy after we were done having children, and I think there's so much misconception that it affects your sex drive, that it affects your sex life. Obviously not. And I think that he deserves huge props for taking some of that responsibility, or trying to at least, onto himself.
Even though, I mean, he is 12 kids in, but yeah.
Right, well, better late than never.
Yes, yes.
Well, you do raise a really valid point, and for anyone watching thinking about a vasectomy, it is a very, I don't want to say simple procedure, but quite frankly, it's not overly complex, and you've talked about that a lot on the show. The vas deferens, which carries sperm, which mixes with semen, and of course the sperm is what makes someone pregnant, that vas deferens is cut. And the issue can be that immediately after this procedure, sperm can still get through. And so you actually have to go, a lot of times the follow-up sperm count will be 2 months later. You have to go get your sperm count, make sure it is at 0. It is still 99.85% effective, but no one knows here if, you know, maybe one got past the goalie before this final sperm count was 0.
Because all it takes is one.
That's,
you know?
well,
so at the end of the day, all it takes is one that's going to swim up through there. And
I'm almost envisioning, you know, the sperm, mind of its own. Daddy, we're not done yet. And it's like, no, come over here. You see that? Come on, hurry, the door's closing. And like sperm's going through.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the egg. You know, it's almost like a video game.
That's true.
Anyway, congratulations.
Yes, big congrats.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
But I think the take home here is for women, you know, if you want to talk about permanent birth control, ask your doctor to talk to you about male options also, because usually it takes 2 to tango. So I think this is a great reminder of that.
I think now she's going to go and actually have her tubes tied.
Cut everything.
Well, if there is a silver lining to this story, he's a very successful player, and
now he's got his own
case, you know,
football
a lot of
team.
people will actually, well, but you know, a lot of people.
How many are on the field for football? I only know hockey. 11? There you go. He's got the whole team. They might be more successful than the Jets.
He even has one to rotate through.
That's right.
Something happens.
There you go.
That's one way to look at it. But I think it highlights the importance of discussing all the options out there. We've talked about there's so many different forms of birth control, including these so-called more permanent ones. So you just have to figure out what's best for you and your family.